please remember that this is an ever-evolving process. If you have a problem with it, you can bring it up. If you feel you're being neglected, you can bring it up.
You know, like democracy is is not responsive to the people, so that people have to gather and assemble and start having the conversation, and it's a continuous conversation, right? And it's not, and also the conversation is not just about left versus right, or this position, that I've got an agenda and I'm trying to push that position. I'm sure there's people who have their, we all have our own conceptions, right, of what things should look like, right? But the point, I think, is to keep in mind is that this is a collective thing, that it's everybody, right? And I mean, that's the thing, that's what's getting away from us, right? And that's what I think is resonating, and why everyone's so proud of the people on Wall Street, and it's Boston and Chicago and LA, San Francisco, it's happening everywhere. All of you know that October 15th is the global day of solidarity with, so not just with what's happening in the U.S. On Wall Street, but also thinking of people protesting austerity measures in Europe, and also making the connection with the Arab Spring, right?
Spreading the message, spreading to all the other groups, branching out, telling everyone everything, and making sure they know what this is about, and getting across to as many Victorians as possible, basically.
There's not much that we can do unless we vote, unless we change the minds of the populace that are out there. We're hoping that with media representation, that we'll hopefully get better representation in Canada than they have in the States. We'll actually be able to connect with people all across Canada who really want change effected in Canada for all reasons, whether it be for poverty or for injustices with economies, or for the big banks making money privately. We've got tons of issues to go forward. If you're not out right now protesting, there's an issue for you. I'm sure there is. None of us are exactly pleased with ticketing, but we're coming here to 100% consensus before we talk to any of the anything that we're going to be doing. It's the People's Assembly. We will all come to an agreement before actually having any objectives or things going on, just like the global protests with Occupy Together.
When you see things like Arab Spring, on a personal note, does it give you hope that the people can actually affect change?
What gives me the most amount of hope, I think, is the people just coming together, period. New York isn't known for being a very polite place, and yet they're coming together. There's little old ladies coming with pies, everybody's protesting, they got food set up, everybody's really come together. And so they did in Cairo, so they did everywhere else in the Occupy. So it's nice to see them actually getting together and being there in solidarity for each other.
I'm done with the interviews.
The 1% of the ruling class are robbing every single individual in this country. It all starts from banking fraud, corruption, and the government is unaccountable to the people. So how do we change that? We can protest, or we can demand action. In 1974, through corruption and illegal activities, they ended the Bank of Canada. How did they do this in 1974? The Bank of Canada was ours for 226 years. 226 years. We fought 2 world wars. We built a highway from the East Coast to West Coast called the Trans-Canada. We had healthcare, dental, medical, pension plans, and our economy thrived. Myself personally, I recommend 2 things. We need to reenact the Bank of Canada to do its proper function, to print our cash at 0% interest on infrastructure, etc., etc. Then we'll remove this false debt to these private banking companies. In the last 4 years, we have paid them $143 billion in interest alone. That's the greatest fraud to our country. It's destroyed our social systems, our healthcare, our dental and medical, and it's created this massive poverty in our country. The second thing is our system of our elected officials is unaccountable to the people. How do we change that? We need to implement direct democracy. Direct democracy will allow the people to control the government while they're elected from day to day, not every 4 years. Every 4 years, it's an illusion. You run down there, with a piece of pencil and you scratch your name and you give your freedom away for 4 years for another dictator to tell you what to do for 4 years. Democracy in Canada is an illusion. Representative democracy has failed us. We have to implement direct democracy where we, the people, can control what happens. Also with direct democracy, the people can create legislation. So if we want to remove NAFTA, we all heard of NAFTA, this great trade deal that benefited the province of British Columbia, we all know it's failed. With direct democracy, we can remove them once and for all. Direct democracy will allow the people binding recall over the government legislation. Thank you for your time.
Just really getting together and talking these issues through as a proper direct democracy where we're all actually speaking for our own causes and coming to a consensus as the people. Because the government isn't listening to any of us right now. Occupy Victoria would be what we are attempting to organize here is across Canada right now on October 15th. All sorts of people are going to be coming out and just giving solidarity with all the other Occupy movements around, especially in the States right now.